There is a pushback.
Yeah.
This is based on emotions. This is being taught. We can track this back through the colleges, into the high schools. We can track this back in the number of decades when this changed, which was approximately somewhere in the 2000, 2008, 2009. Yeah, when we got the promise of transformation, the incomplete statement of we're going to transform, leaving out into what? The full sentence should include into what? We didn't get that. Well, now we're seeing the consequence.
Yeah, let me touch a couple pieces on this one. The first one is, I think you're right. It was about that time. It was the failure of Occupy Wall Street. And I know, Michael, you want to disagree on this one, but I liked the idea of Occupy Wall Street. I liked the concept of it. I'm obviously not a Democrat, but if I was Democrat, I'd want things like the codify of Roe v. Wade. I would want things like Medicare for all. I'd want things like minimum wage up to $15. I'd want all of those things. Now, the Democrats now don't have to do any of that. They just play culture war, and they keep Democrats pacified. Republicans, the same thing. We want to reduce the debt. They don't reduce the debt. We want to stop the wars. They don't stop the wars. They just go to culture war stuff. And then they throw culture war stuff, and they don't fix it. They don't fix the border. They don't fix anything. They don't fix immigration. They just keep throwing culture war stuff at us. And since Occupy Wall Street, culture war has kept us occupied, and Republicans don't get what they want. Democrats don't get what they want. Nothing gets fixed.
Because of feelings. Because you're right.
Yes.
There are a lot of, and this is left and right. We get the promise that there's a solution, that someone, these leaders, these elected officials have this wonderful solution. And if it were only for them having more control, more power, less, you had less rights, you have less freedoms. If it were only for that, you would get that free stuff. You would get that, whatever it is they're promising you. And the other guys who disagree are the bad guys. And so you should feel bad about them. Notice in this conversation, there is nothing about what are we actually talking about? What are the consequences? You want to fix immigration? Fantastic. Don't tell me everyone should have a right to walk across the border, because that's not the reality in any nation in the world. They all have rules. You can't just walk across the border. Why? Because there are consequences. But it feels good. And anyone who doesn't have the same feeling is a bad guy, and you have to hate them. We can go through all of the issues, and the right does the same thing too. I'm not absolving them. And that's the problem. We're not thinking.
So I do want to touch the immigration thing, because it's a perfect example of the feelings, the not thinking about your consequences, and then things getting worse because you're doing stupid things because you feel good.